What's up, everyone? This is Metroid Prime Fan 18 back again, and this is finally going to be my first out of 6 reviewed or requested reviews. And this is starting off with Dark Zero 2021's first of 2 requests, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. Now, as you all know, when this game first came out, everyone was kind of dreading it at first. Well, I mean, when they heard of a new Call of Duty game, I'm sure everyone was like, "Oh, they're going to do World War II again. Oh, they've already had 3 other games like this. No, World at War is World War II all over again." Well, thanks to a certain company called Infinity Ward, they came up with the idea, I'm sure along with some other people, of not doing World War II again, of doing a completely fictional war in a fictional setting, and it worked. I mean, it really, really worked. I mean, in my opinion, I do like Call of Duty 1. I've never played 2 or 3 or 5. And really, once I played one World War II game, like I said, I'm not a history buff. And once I played one World War II game, that's enough for me. That's why I love this game so much. Because it went away from the usual. They didn't do World War II. They did something completely new, completely different. And it worked. I mean, it's fictional. It doesn't have, it doesn't relate to anything real. But let's get on with what the game is like. Well, in this game, hang on a second, you play as 2 different people. You play as a guy from the American Army and from the British forces. Now, when you first start the game, you're playing as the British Army guy, and you're sent on the obstacle course. And you have to complete 6 stages of it in a certain time. And when you finish it and you reach the finishing spot or mark or whatever, or cross the finishing line, whatever you want to call it, the game actually tells you, it tells you your completion time, and then it tells you your preferred difficulty, depending on how fast and how accurately you completed the course. Anything from recruit all the way to veteran. And just like with other COD games, this has recruit, marine, hardened, and veteran difficulties. And it has 3 different chapters, 3 or 4 chapters in the story mode, and then it has a bonus mission at the end called Mile High Club. Everyone knows that mission, how hard it is under veteran. Somehow I beat it, and it was just after just an hour and a half of trying. And then don't tell me that's a long time. I know it's a long time. I'm not good at games like this usually. I'm just glad I fucking beat it. Now I never have to play that in veteran difficulty ever again. Anyway, so basically the story goes, this team of Russian, it's kind of a mixture of both Middle East and Russian, but these Russian and Middle East nationalists have formed this huge organization, and they're making speeches of how war has torn this country, it's ripped its people apart, it's shattered it, we have to rebuild its former glory, basic stuff like that. And they want everyone in the world to know that they're not going to stop at anything to fulfill this goal. And so what do? Well, after you beat the first level, it takes you to this all-cinema level where you're through the eyes of this person. He's getting dragged into a car, he gets beat over the head, and he's eventually taken to the middle of this courtyard in the middle of this huge building, and he gets tied to a post and shot in the head. And then you later find out that the guy who was shot, the guy whose eyes you were looking out of, was the president's. The president of the country was just assassinated on live national TV by this organization. And that's exactly how they gave their message. So you're after this one guy, I can't remember his name for the life of me, sorry. I keep forgetting names like this. You're after him, and then you eventually corner him in this one place in a certain city, and you corner him in this shed, and you shoot him, and you kill him, and then you grab his communicator or walkie-talkie or whatever, and then you learn he's not the actual one. It's another guy who's been pulling his strings. The guy who was thought to be dead, I think his name was Zarkov or something. You thought he was dead 15 years ago, and then you go back in time 15 years ago where you're playing as who in the current game's time is your commander. And then you go back 15 years in time, and now you're playing as who was the commander in the current time, and you're with his commander. And then the whole mission is basically assassinate Zarkov. So you're crawling through these battlefields, these grass lands, and what's called ghillie suits, just sneaking covert and all that. And then, in the final level, you eventually get to him. And it just has this really cinematic looking, dramatic ending where everything is just going so slow, and you have to make this it's these three accurate shots, and boom, and boom again. And then you got all three of them. And then there's the ending. I'm not going to spoil it any more than I already have. I mean, I know I spoil quite a bit in my reviews, but hey, doesn't everyone? But so that's how the story of the game goes. Gameplay is the same as any COD game. I mean, there's gunfights, there's ducking behind cover, there's you only carry 2 weapons at a time, other than your pistol and your grenades. So it's 4 weapons really, but you only carry 2 big weapons. And so gameplay is really basic, nothing really to say. I mean, there's crouching, there's crawling, there's running. I think there's sprinting, scope, zooming with a scope and all that, climbing, basic movements. But where this game really excels was its online play. Now, everyone was wondering about how good this would be. Everyone was hoping it'd be a Halo 3 online killer, and for many, it was. And really, in my opinion, it is too, because everyone knows how Halo 3 online is just rife with, well, all the things that shouldn't happen in an online game. But in this online game, you have these things called perks, which are kind of like powers. I mean, everything from running faster to reloading faster to being able to hold your breath longer for sniping. Now, in this game, sniping is not just like Halo sniping. You don't just aim and shoot. You have to actually control your crosshair because your guy's breathing. And when you're breathing, your gun's going to kind of go from side to side. So you have to make him hold his breath to steady your aim. And he only holds his breath for a certain amount of time, even with the what's called the iron lungs, which makes him hold it for like twice as long, I think. And then you take your shot. Sniping takes a while to get used to in this game. It took me a while, but I got the hang of it pretty quickly. So it's not hard, but it is kind of challenging. And there's just this huge array of weapons. I mean, everything from pistols to submachine guns to light machine guns, which weigh like a metric ton, so they should be called heavy machine guns, shotguns, sniper rifles, assault rifles, grenades, C4s. I mean, there's just weapons all over the place. And the maps are very well designed, I think. And unfortunately, just like with every Xbox Live game, this game does have its cheaters. But I mean, it's not just 99% cheaters like a lot of other games are online. So, this game does excel in many areas. Now, some flaws I have for the game. For one thing, online, of course, does have its flaws, and online in this game is very demanding. And if you have an internet connection like mine, you're gonna lag a lot. I mean, my connection sucks. It sucks. It's only good at certain points in the day. Other points in the day, I mean, last time I tried to join a game in COD4 Live, my screen just strobe light blinked for like 5 seconds, and then it kicked me out of the game. That's how bad my connection was. And if it says you're kicked out due to transmission error, that means your connection is so low that you're not getting in any live game for a while. So, that's one complaint I have. It's way too demanding. Unless you have a very good internet connection, at least one that's better than mine, I hope you do at least, then you're not going to be able to play very much of this game online. Some people complain that the campaign was too short. I didn't think it was that short at all. I mean, I thought it was good length. I thought it was long enough. It had a lot of levels, had a lot of variety to it. That's what I like. It wasn't just the same shit. I mean, there was one level where you're actually controlling from a gunship and shooting targets. I mean, that was fun. And there's no way to die in that level, but if you blast the wrong targets, you fail and have to start over. But I just love that mission. I mean, you're just shooting things down with 3 different sized cannons from a gunship. It's just a lot of fun. So all in all, this game it's definitely a must-have for a 360 owner, or if you're an FPS fan like I am. And overall, I'll give this game a 9.2 out of 10. I mean, the cheaters online do kind of hurt it, and its demanding connection. Really, I mean, as far as campaign and split screen goes, I have no problems with. It's online where I have my gripes with, just like with every Xbox game that has live. But other than that, it had good difficulty, a lot of variety to it, lots of weapons, lots of different gameplay. Online, of course, is extremely fun. I haven't played it in God knows how long, so I gotta start it again. Hopefully my connection won't suck all the time this time. So there's the first out of my 6 requested reviews, and I may be able to get another one today. I mean, Thanksgiving's coming up. I'm going to be kind of busy, but we'll see what happens. So with that, this is Metroid, signing off.